McLaren in P3. Cheb is in P4 from P2, which halts his race slightly. And I think today we could see some very interesting strategies, as, for example, Leclerc in the Alfa Romeo has crashed out in the early phase of the qualifying, which means he has a free choice of tyre starting from P18, which could see a mixed strategy between him and his teammate. Charlie, you want to add anything to that? Here we can see that the McLaren of Jenson Bartley starting P9 with his teammate FH444 in the McLaren P1, which could give him some good points. There's kind of formation up here.
Okay, alright. So, FH leads the way on the formation lap. From Dramer, Scary Spunk, B-Cheap, EXFLCharlie Edgars, and Striker rounds off the top 6, and so on and so forth, I guess. Oh, someone's actually spun it. Scary Spunk has actually spun it on the formation lap.
Hopefully he hasn't lit up the tyres or haven't... Oh, he actually got disqualified, I believe, for going too slow. And as we see here, we have Yoga Gamer and Rossi in it, starting on their medium tyres. Leclerc and his teammates kind of advantage by down the straight for parabolic, where they're hitting the tyres, going into parabolic now. And they're about to come up again. Start weaving with their first few cars on the grid, lining up.
Gary Spunk, of course, got disqualified. The best view of them will probably come from Dramer right now. Alfa Romeo is going to be the last one, that's SSR Hamilton. So, it's the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza.
Oh, and unfortunately I have lagged out. I'll try to get back into the game as soon as possible.
You can join. It's lights out, and away we go, but you can't see it. FH is going to lead them off the line. Dramer gets a good start and is alongside, and into the lead is Dramer. FH didn't have a great start because B-Cheap is already challenging him as well. They do make contact in turn 1. FH down to 3rd.
I'd like to hugely apologise. This is
yeah, there you go. I've invited you.
Technical difficulty.
I've invited you.
Transferring back as soon as possible. As you can hear through the mic of Charlie, we have a very good start from some of the people.
But Dramer leads them away in the Renault, so that's good for Renault in the constructors because he's 5 tenths from B-Tube. There's yellow flags because Cameron is round, but he hasn't got any damage. Now then, down the straight, it's B-Tube second, then FH, Edgars, SSR Hamilton. Alabama Outlaw gets a 5-second penalty for gaining 2 places by corner cutting. Now we're going to go through Ascari. Is anyone going to get taken by Italy's death chicane? Looks like Alabama Outlaw. Tate! Right into the wall! Virtual safety car.
VSC as
Rowley's round as well.
It's the
Tate and
I think it's
Alabama
too early.
Outlaw had a. I think they might have made contact on the exit of Ascari. Tate went flying into that wall, and we do have a VSC.
We are keep forgetting EXFLCharlie penalty. I don't think the EXFLCharlie today. Someone's left. The tyre strategy either soft or medium hard, depends on how the drivers manage tyres. Alabama Outlaw is out along with Tate, which is a big hit to the championship for the Williams team, because they were actually contending and all beat Chev's shoulders. And as we can see, both Leclerc and Rossi have gone up 6 places. And we have
The yellow Alabama Outlaw is retired from the race as well. He was involved with Tate, and he's retired. But FH really under pressure. He hasn't had the greatest of starts. Edgar's right on the back of him now. He didn't get a good launch off the line, and that really showed because he was overtaken almost immediately by Dramer, and Beachy got him under braking. Got him under braking into turn 1. So
Beachy is trying to get back into the 1 second gap of.
we have a yellow flag. Rowdy and that F1 boy. Rowdy is letting Abra by, I think. I don't know whether they have damage or not.
The F1 boy has actually put into the gravel. Rowdy's trying to keep his distance.
Oh, they've got damage. I think they might have crashed because Abra has damage, that F1 boy has damage. I don't know whether Rowdy has any damage. Rowdy doesn't have damage, but the F1 boy does. He has big damage. It's the right hand side.
Yes, I think his whole wing's gone on the right hand side, which is not ideal whatsoever. I'm passing them both out of Ascari. And Dougal is teaming in front already on the pitch straight.
Jensen Bartley's having a look at the back of Striker, and he'll have DRS down the straight because it is enabled this lap. And he's within 1 second.
You have somewhat the DRS train forming though. There's a 3-man DRS train here. Which
Dramer gets a penalty, so that's crucial for Dramer because he's in the lead and he has a 3-second penalty now.
As we can see, penalties 5 seconds for Leclerc, Rossi, and Zoga game, which I believe are under the safety under the PSC, and Dramer in P1, who has just recently got a 3-second penalty. Here we have tyres, the tyres of choice. Some people have pitted under the VSC and have fresh tyres. That F1 player has pitted and
that F1 boy's already been lapped.
It says a lap behind after pitting twice already, I think this was. As you can see. Yes, that F1 boy's the only one from 2 stops. 13 down have made a few stops as well. So we have SR Hamilton, 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. That's obviously exceeding track limits. As the around P11 and up is on the soft tyre, as we can see here.
Okay, so Jensen Blade didn't get past Striker. Beeb Tube is ahead. Beeb Tube's in the lead. They're side by side through Ascari. That's not going to go well. Oh, it's not going to go well at all. Dramer, he's in the gravel. Edgar's going to take the lead of the race.
The squabbling has really put a limiter on the pace of Beach and Dramer help, which is not very ideal if you're trying to stay ahead.
Now suddenly, any of the top 3 really could take the lead. Beep Cheap is in the lead. Edgar's is also going to be overtaken by GSR FH444 as well. And suddenly the top 3 has changed. SSR Hamilton's into P4 as well. He's overtaken Dramer. Dramer really didn't benefit from being in the gravel out of Ascari. I mean, they went side by side through Ascari.
Not many people do.
I mean, it's rare that people go through there without colliding. But Dramer is back ahead of SSR Hamilton. But whoever can break the latest will be ahead out of the chicane. It will be SSR Hamilton. Jeep is back in the lead of the race. I mean, he's just got the lead of the race, I guess.
You have that F1 boy getting chased down by Dreamer furiously. P5, 6, and 7 trying to chase down SR Hamilton. P8 also is chasing them down. So this is a very good following from the drivers behind as they go through Parabolica, trying to chase it up the lead. SR Hamilton 6/10 after their DRS, but quickly gaining as they exit Parabolica, but again losing to no DRS, which makes a massive difference, as you can see by the deltas to the driver in front, as we see a move for P2 by Edgar, which gets pulled off perfectly, breaking later doing a Daniel Ricciardo. I see FH4 having a bad exit, and have we just seen SR Hamilton bin it at the exit of the first chicane. You can see here that if he has any damage, which I don't believe he does. Actually, he does. He has end plate damage at least, if not anymore. He's just been passed, and he's in line, which is not very ideal for his race. As I can remind you, they are P2 in the Constructors' Championship, and his teammate Leclerc, on the other hand, has actually had a pretty good start to this race. He's gone up since the beginning, and he's trying to make a move around the outside of the striker, which he does. Puts him up into the points, and team following his teammate SR Hamilton through Ascari, who has got damage. Some big moment on the exit of Ascari, which puts him down to P11, probably P12 very soon. Never mind, he's actually getting away from the person behind him, but yeah, Leclerc pulling away from striker, trying to get into the DRS of Jenson Bartley, which I believe he has. Actually, he doesn't succeed to do it this time.
SR Hamilton pits, and he gets 5 seconds speeding in the pit lane as well.
I believe he had a wing damage the whole lap, then all double lockup from striker as he tries to not hit the back of Leclerc, who has closed the gap to Dreameyer, who's dropped back down to P8. And Jenson Bartley, who's the people who's fighting against in the Constructors' Championship. We have P8 fighting P7, fighting P6, who's getting chased by P9. There could be a move down this DRS straight as they get very close to Lesmo 1. Pretty close to Lesmo 2, where he's using his overtake, probably Richmond's going. DRS is open as he makes the move. P8. That's Jenson Bartley going down to P7. They're being chased by Leclerc again, fighting through the field as Charles Leclerc had done Monaco in 2019. To catch battle for the first place. You see actually beat Chip maintaining distance from Edwards, as we see SR Hamilton retire out of the race. I believe that's a crash, and that's a virtual.
Oh, it's a VSC. Zoga Gamer got a penalty for colliding with him, so I can only assume that they might have had a collision through the second Lesmo.
That could have been it, which forced him out the race. Maybe a side swipe, and that could be the end of Alfa Romeo's constructors chase for this race. But again, we have Leclerc, which we've been following pretty closely, as he has 9 places gained already this race, which is an amazing start from him, as P6 and 7 get ridiculously close through. Oh, and we have Jenson Bartley speeding under the safety car, which promotes Leclerc basically to P7, as he has to serve that drive-through penalty now. From strike at the 3-second penalty for too many track limit warnings. As we see Jenson Bartley get overtaken by Leclerc, which puts him P9. That's 10. Sorry, P7. That's 10 places gained by the Alfa Romeo driver in the Tier 2. As we see have stopped, so it goes in for a second pit stop. That F1 boy has already made 2, and everyone from P12 and backwards behind that has made 1 stop. Jenson Bartley is pitting and taking his drive-through penalty, which has been received. Here we see, we'll get Leclerc getting super close as he has a good exit out of that corner. He's chasing Davis 2K7 in a car ahead of him, the AlphaTauri. Everyone's tyres are 8 laps old until we get to P12, obviously, because they've pitted. P5 gets an awful exit out there, so Davis, this could be, Leclerc, I think he has wing damage because of the slip up of Davis, and again he makes contact. I think that could be Leclerc's
that F1 boy's in the way here.
Boycotted.
That F1 boy is under blue flags. He's got quite, I think he's only got 2 more people he needs to let by now, which is, of course, Davis and Striker. They have Terry in the front. Oh, KDX Breyer's gone off at Ascari, but he's still in the race. I don't know whether he has damage.
He's kind of kept it there. You can see that
he has no damage. I'm just assuming he went wide.
As we see here, the penalties. Edgar has 3 seconds. Scarius Spunk has 9. Ray Major with 6. And Leclerc with 5. Striker with 3. Rossi with 5. Suga with 5. Davis has come in for the medium compound of tyres. Also the Mercedes of Spartacus Spunk. Have Jenson Bartley coming out ahead of the Mercedes, who's, may I remind you, still hasn't pitted. So we have P9 to P1 to P9 still have not pitted for any new tyres. And Rossi has gained track position over all of them, as he has started on the medium compound of tyre and gone up 10 places this race, as he didn't have to pit onto the mediums after starting on the tyre. Here we see the F1 boy from his teammate called Dream Manager. He's boosted on the straight. He might get a 5-second penalty for not letting him through soon enough. Here they head down to Parabolica, break out the 50 mark, and go almost in a straight line, keeping the same line. P1, 2, I think that is, have pitted. Chev and Edgar's, which are in for their stops, and also has a P5 in Dreamager, and he has a 5-second penalty for speeding to pay. So
FH just stayed out.
Just going for track position, getting the better medium tyres towards the end of the race, so it's Striker. But I don't know if it's going to pay off, because the undercut's going to be massive, as the tyres are already 10 laps old, and the softs are going pretty quickly with the amount of chicanes around Monza. We have Leclerc in the pits. He's made a massive charge through the field, as we see here, and coming out the pits comfortably in front of P12. Behind the AlphaTauri by 7 seconds, who is quite a while away. And you see here the gaps to leader, like 8 whole seconds behind FH, and he just come out 21 seconds behind the leader, and he's actually catching him pretty quickly with those new mediums. He's liking the fresh medium tyre. So is Edgar's, not losing it much time to him. Jenson Bartley, who hasn't pitted yet, has just lost out to Spunk, sorry, I'm awful with these names, to drop down to P7. Striker has, I think, he has pitted now. So has FH444, which has been undercut by Deepcheck quite a considerable amount, 2.5 to 7.8 seconds, almost 3 here, as he almost drops to a 3 second interval gap. As we see Rossi leading the race now, as he has started on those medium tyres. They don't look to be going off too much so far. He has around over 50% ERS even, which isn't awful for him. As he goes through the second Lesmo there. We have a rowdy DJ boy with a it goes 5 seconds from Rossi, who hasn't maybe stuff there. The yellow flag briefly in the car, but not sure Rossi was there with 3 seconds. The track limit warnings. He's 27 seconds away from the first. Okay, and that leads me to the. Oh no, sorry, that was 7 seconds away from the first. Just outside the point. Jenson Bartley has just fitted for the medium. Rowdy T-Boy has retired from
crashed,
the race.
I think.
He's out of the second lesson, that is.
Safety car.
Safety car. Oh my god, this massive turn
I
of
don't
events for the race.
know why. Rowdy's DNF and that's... so Rowdy's crash has caused a safety car on lap 13. So this will benefit Rossi because he won't lose as much time by pitting. He'll probably gain a few places now.
Go onto the hard compounded tyre. And just finish the race on that, because the softs won't last the whole 14 laps. And the 2-stop isn't too viable in the 50% race, and also he doesn't want to wait until he has a full-length pit stop as he comes in the pits. And I don't believe he has sped. I don't think he has sped, as we see how many people are going ahead of him in the pit lane. I believe that's a lap car. He's at P5. He's still waiting to go. He's apparently not leaving. Okay, he took a while. His reactions were slightly off. Just trying to leave the pits quickly there. As we see Rossi out the first chicane in P8, not lost out too much. Trico has pitted a lap or two before him, he's in P7, and now that Rossi actually, he could have made a mistake pitting onto the softs, which he probably is hoping for another safety car to try to conserve these softs, as he's actually pushing pretty hard. Collision with Trey Mahe for Spunk, ignoring yellow flags. That F1 boy has been disqualified from the session. We won't be seeing him racing anymore. And we have Rossi on the strangely enough on a soft compound of tyre, which makes me think he'll have to stop again. He's going very, very aggressive. But again, it could be him just conserving tyres for the remainder of the race, obviously not weaving in the straight like everyone else is. He's trying to keep the tyre temperatures low and the tyre wear low, obviously. Trying to make it to the end of the race. As we see Edgar's, who'll be determining the pace from probably, I predict, next lap when the cars are going up to the race pace, as he does have a 3-second penalty, so the safety car actually makes the race harder for him. As I'm sorry for the name pronunciation, but he has 16 seconds of penalties, and in front of him, Scaria Spunk, I believe, has 5 seconds, which actually got picked up by hitting the Renault. Striker has 3 seconds, so does Leclerc. Ren, Double D, both have 3, and Zoga Gamer has 5 seconds, so they're back at the back, have to slightly catch up now because the safety car probably is going in this lap and they're still on there, so they're not weaving very much, and he's doing all that he can to actually conserve the tyres and hope to make it to the end. I'm guessing he will start saving around lap 20, trying to make it to the end, pushing for the first few laps, really trying to make some places up, get that track position up with the strategy they are made famous. And here we are, the safety car in this lap by the race control, and so we can watch here the race leader Edgar's as he is going slowly down the back straight, the RS straight, leading to parabolic. He's weaving left and right on those medium tyres, trying to get some heat into harder compound, and he still isn't very satisfied, doing small adjustments.
They're all bunched up a lot. There's Edgar's has gone very slow. It's going very slowly.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity for someone to have severe wing damage, as everyone's swerving and they're very close to each other. You could see some end plates flying off soon.
Beep Tube's all over Edgar's. I reckon he probably is going to get the jump on this restart. There goes Edgar's. Beep Tube.
And
he's left Beep Tube behind.
Late to react.
But FH is right on the back of Beep Tube as well. Green flags. And
Beep Tube did originally get the slipstream, but now he doesn't.
They've all got slipstream on Edgar's. Beep Tube really pushing FH down that straight.
And he can't
FH
quite make the
backs
dive
out towards turn 1.
P4 and P5 have fought hard, and there was a big scruffy fight between them. Anyway, as we look to P1 again, he has pulled a gap of half a second to the person in front, as Beep Tube actually ooh, that's massive for the race. If you look at this, Edgar's got 6 seconds, which makes the race win that much harder, as Rossi actually surprisingly has dropped back so far since the restart. He's gone 6 he's up overall, but he's lost 3 on the restart alone. I see Leclerc and Prix fighting. Yeah, we have Leclerc and P8. He's gone a tad bit wide, as Striker also makes a mistake, having a bit of oversteer, I think. Can't quite close the gap down this straight, as there is no DRS on this straight, and it would not be enabled as the safety cars just come in. As we see P2 actually trying to close the gap, Beep Tube trying to close the gap, and FH44 has had an awful restart, getting chased down by P4, which is getting chased down by 5 and 6. Which makes this a tight situation for him. The pole sitter at the beginning of the race, he really hasn't impressed off the restart. He was actually losing 1.5 seconds to Beep Tube right now, and he's lost even more time through Curva Grande there. He's looking to make up on the chicane, which he has. He made a 10th up there, but it's not enough to close that much to Beep Tube, but I believe he's pushing hard. The Beep Tube might be having some fuel problems or trying to save tires to make sure they make it to the end, but he's also trying to chase down Edgar's, which makes it very interesting, because if Edgar's gets away by 6 seconds, that's the race done, and Edgar's will get away even though he has that 6 seconds. As you see, P4 Dreamer, he's probably not going to get very high in the race itself, so he might protest some of these decisions against him by the game to get him all 16 of those seconds. So might Sparta Spunk, who's got 8, and I feel like those could be safety car penalties which should not be given. If you have DRS, Beep Tube this lap, which could make this quite interesting, as the pair have been pretty close, within a second of each other since the restart. Of course, FH444 won't be getting that luxury of DRS, and he'll have a massive DRS train behind him, leading all the way to the last person, because they the safety car doesn't actually spread many people apart. As we see a little snap of overs here by FH444 on keeps sustains it through the Lesmos 1 and 2. He actually gains time on Lesmo 2 and he loses it down the straight, of course, without the DRS. And they go into the Ascari chicane, P1, P2. Edgar gets a much better Ascari, and actually Beep Cheap is out of his DRS now, which will make it much harder for him to gain again. But if he has a very good parabolica, this could be massive for him. As I think they just passed the detection zone, I don't think Beep Cheap's DRS will open. Yes, that DRS, that rear wing is firm sharp time, his DRS is not open. It's not helping him make the overtake whatsoever. As we see Edgar's going to the first chicane. He's actually lost a bit of time, which is not ideal for him. He's 10th within Edgar's DRS zone, his VP. As you see FH444 going wrong. Rossi if you're really liking the soft compound of Tyres Davis 2K7 gets Rossi really lit out those soft tyres, and he's trying to catch up to P9 and possibly a fair in P8. But of course, as we have stated, he has to either pit or conserve tyres, because the softs aren't lasting 14 laps if you constantly pushing them. I believe he just got a penalty, a warning there. Leclerc did, because that's pretty wide and fully on the curb, I think, for him, and the strip corner cone doesn't allow that. Anyway, to look at Beep Tube here, less than a second away, as we see FH4 actually closing in on the pet, almost getting DRS on Beep Tube, and he might actually get this lap, because his pace has been a bit better than Beep Tube. Of course, he does have the fresher mediums by a lap, which could make a whole difference. But again, the Renault behind him of Dream Majar is actually pretty fast, so that could be interesting as P5 and 6 fight into turn 1, and there's a massive train of people, almost like a safety car queue here, as we see coming out of the first chicane. Leclerc dropping out of the DRS of the other drivers. Surprisingly, excuse the rules correct, but here we have the Alfa Romeo and Alfa Tauri fighting. That could be a warning for Leclerc again. He's very close to the penalty, I'm guessing. Karen W with a 3-second penalty for track limit infringement. As we see Leclerc pulling away from the Alfa Tauri, which has been fighting. I don't see any damage on him, but that's ninth place just got a snap of oversteer. As you see Leclerc's DRS open for striker, and apparently Edgar's dropped back miraculously lots of points. Dougal has collided with Rossi, which could actually ruin his whole race. Edgar's very laggy, not sure what's happening there. He just cut the Ascari. He might be having some connection problems here. As you go forward to Beachy, who's easily gotten a race lead after Edgar's massive mistake, which put him at the back, just cutting parabolic as you go into turn 1, which was massive for him. Now FH444 trying to push after him and get his DRS, but he hasn't got it. So right now, Beachy's in the best scenario he can be. He's got decent tyres still, so he can push and get away from the rest of the pack. There are 6 laps for him to do so, and he doesn't have any penalties. As Edgar, the race win contender, has actually retired. And I think that's
he just went from bad
to awful. He cut the chicane as Dougal and Rossi had contact there, I believe. And I don't think they have any damage, but I think I just saw an end plate come off someone's car, but I can't quite tell you who. We try and locate the car with the missing end plate. Can't seem to do that here, unfortunately. But some people are cutting this chicane. So Gamer with 14 lap old mediums, which might not last to the end, because it's very hard to do 20 laps on mediums around here, which could put him a spot of bother here with the AOA levels, and he's just under 15 left. The P5 going on the move for P4. Someone's gone straight ahead. I believe that's Striker. Leclerc here on the exit. P6. That's a great chicane through and made a position. And now he's at Curva Grande trying to chase down P5, which is Davis P7. As Beep Tube actually got caught up by FH444 and could have. He doesn't have actually DRS on this straight as he's been passing protection zone until the 1 second mark. But if he has a good Ascari and the straight isn't too bad for him, he could get a good exit out of Parabolica and get the DRS there on YouTube, which would make his situation a lot worse as the Renault behind him has dropped back a bit and doesn't have some DRS. As Sparkus Spunk has overtaken P5 and actually gone 2 places ahead of Leclerc, he's been fighting with recently. And speaking of Leclerc, he's done a mammoth job in this race, actually getting up to P6 from P17. Charlie beating a dead hamster. We have Tube fighting FH444, and Rossi actually taking the fastest lap of the race on his medium tyres. He's
actually overtaking Cameron. Well, no, he isn't. Cameron fights back.
Cameron fights back. It's a much better exit out of the first corner, and then Rossi gets a better exit on the second corner with this new medium, which he's really liking right now. Just gone up into P as Google's very laggy here, and he could cause troubles.
Rossi!
And